What ancient network of trade routes connected the East and West for centuries, famously used for trading luxury goods? The answer is the Silk Road. What civilization built an extensive network of roads across its empire, famously stating that all roads lead to its capital? The answer is the Roman Empire. What group of Scandinavian seafarers were renowned for their long ships and extensive voyages across Europe and the North Atlantic? The answer is the Vikings. In Greek mythology, what hero undertook 12 famous labors that involve extensive travel around the ancient world? The answer is Hercules. What ancient wonder, a massive lighthouse, guided ships into the harbor of Alexandria in Egypt for centuries? The answer is the Lighthouse of Alexandria. What river was the primary transportation highway of ancient Egypt, crucial for trade, travel, and agriculture? The answer is the Nile River. What Carthaginian general famously crossed the Alps with elephants to invade Italy during the Second Punic War? The answer is Hannibal Barca. What Greek historian is often called the father of history and traveled extensively through the Persian Empire and Egypt? The answer is Herodotus. The ancient city of Petra, a major trading hub, is famous for its rock-cut architecture and is located in which modern-day country? The answer is Jordan. What ancient civilization in the Andes created a vast and sophisticated road system, but notably did not use the wheel for transport? The answer is the Inca Empire. Which Portuguese explorer was the first European to reach India by sea, rounding the southern tip of Africa in 1498? The answer is Vasco da Gama. What was the name of the lead ship in Christopher Columbus's first voyage to the Americas in 1492? The answer is the Santa Maria. What Italian merchant's detailed accounts of his travels to China in the 13th century inspired many future explorers? The answer is Marco Polo. The strait at the southern tip of South America is named after which explorer whose expedition was the first to circumnavigate the globe? The answer is Ferdinand Magellan. Which British captain and explorer extensively mapped the Pacific Ocean, including Australia's eastern coast and the Hawaiian Islands? The answer is James Cook. What small, highly maneuverable sailing ship with 3 masts was a key development in the Age of Discovery? The answer is the Caravel. In the 15th century, what European nation led the way in exploration, establishing trading posts along the coast of Africa? The answer is Portugal. What navigational instrument, which measures the angle between a celestial body and the horizon, was crucial for determining latitude at sea? The answer is the sextant. The search for what mythical water route through North America drove much of the exploration of the continent for centuries? The answer is the Northwest Passage. What Spanish conquistador led the expedition that caused the fall of the Aztec Empire in modern-day Mexico? The answer is Hernán Cortés. What luxury passenger train, which ran from Paris to Istanbul, is the famous setting for an Agatha Christie mystery novel? The answer is the Orient Express. In 1807, Robert Fulton's North River steamboat initiated the first commercially successful steamboat service on what American river? The answer is the Hudson River. What engineering marvel, completed in 1869, connected the east and west coasts of the United States by rail? The answer is the first transcontinental railroad. What British engineer is considered the father of the railways for his pioneering work with steam locomotives, including the rocket? The answer is George Stephenson. What man-made waterway, opened in 1869, dramatically shortened the sea voyage from Europe to Asia by connecting two major seas? The answer is the Suez Canal. The Golden Spike ceremony marking the completion of the first transcontinental railroad took place in what U.S. state? The answer is Utah. What Scottish engineer's crucial improvements to the steam engine were fundamental to the changes brought by the Industrial Revolution? The answer is James Watt. What was the name of the first ocean-going steamship to cross the Atlantic in 1838 primarily under steam power? The answer is the SS Great Western. The Great Western Railway, an iconic British rail company, was engineered by what famous Victorian engineer? The answer is Isambard Kingdom Brunel. What extensive railway, the longest in the world, crosses Russia connecting Moscow with the Russian Far East? The answer is the Trans-Siberian Railway. What German-built airship famously caught fire and crashed in New Jersey in 1937, ending the era of passenger airship travel? The answer is the Hindenburg. In what year did the Wright brothers achieve the first successful powered, sustained, and controlled airplane flight? The answer is 1903. What iconic American highway, established in 1926 and known as the Mother Road, ran from Chicago to Santa Monica? The answer is Route 66. What was the name of the first supersonic passenger airliner, which operated from 1976 to 2003? The answer is the Concorde. What famous American aviator was the first person to fly solo non-stop across the Atlantic Ocean in 1927? The answer is Charles Lindbergh. The first commercial jet airliner, which entered service in 1952, was the de Havilland what? The answer is Comet. What Pan Am flight number was the first to circumnavigate the globe via both the North and South Poles in 1977? The answer is Flight 50. What iconic Volkswagen car model became a symbol of counterculture road trips in the 1960s? The answer is the Beetle. The world's first high-speed bullet train rail line, the Tokaido Shinkansen, opened in 1964 in what country? The answer is Japan. What massive ocean liner, launched in 1911, tragically sank on its maiden voyage after hitting an iceberg? The answer is the Titanic. Which two explorers led the first American expedition to cross the western portion of the United States, beginning in 1804? The answer is Lewis and Clark. What is the name of the lunar module that landed the first humans on the Moon during the Apollo 11 mission? The answer is the Eagle. Norwegian explorer Roald Amundsen was the first person to successfully lead an expedition to what geographic location in 1911? The answer is the South Pole. What British explorer, who died on his final Antarctic expedition, is famous for the heroic failure of his attempt to be first to the South Pole? The answer is Robert Falcon Scott. In 1953, Sir Edmund Hillary and Wat Sherpa mountaineer were the first confirmed to have reached the summit of Mount Everest. The answer is Tenzing Norgay. What was the name of the submersible that took Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh to the bottom of the Mariana Trench in 1960? The answer is the Trieste. In 1961, what Soviet cosmonaut became the first human to journey into outer space? The answer is Yuri Gagarin. What was the name of Charles Darwin's ship, aboard which he conducted his famous research on evolution? The answer is HMS Beagle. What American aviator was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean? The answer is Amelia Earhart. What legendary city in the Amazon rainforest, also known as the City of Gold, inspired centuries of fruitless expeditions? The answer is El Dorado.